soul contracts. Right, a little bit more about soul contracts. So if we always think of our bodies as this vessel, okay? Sometimes I think of it as, like I say, a car, for instance. And with a car, you need a driver to drive the car. Well, I know they're going to make those driverless cars as such, but we're going to go with the fact that right now, old-fashionedly, we have got cars and we need our drivers to drive them. And if you see the driver as the soul steps into the car. That's the driver of the soul, the vessel. So there's part of me, my soul. So what happens is each time when we come around, our soul picks a new vessel, as in the body, the structure, a new car. So like us, we have an old car, we step out of it, the engine dies in it, our heart dies or whatever, and then we step out, we get a new car when it's time. And it's a bit like that. That's what happens with human beings. Now, when we pop out of our vessel, our container, shall we say, we then have a period of time where we reassess things, where we look at what information, we go back at our lifetime, we explore what's happened in that lifetime. And maybe there might be that we think, well, maybe if I'd done it in a different way, maybe if I, was played a different role, a different partner, or, this time I'm coming back as a woman because as a man, however, whatever the situation was, whatever. And so you take a bit of time out, you reassess, you look through the soul of how you lived that life at that particular time. And you also look at those souls around you, that the roles that they would have played, okay? And you may look, so I know when as a past life practitioner, I know when I did this session with Dr. Brian Wise, he did it on me, which was brilliant. We looked at it and it was literally that what happened was, in my previous lifetime, my son who's in my life now was my brother in my past life, and in that soul pod, my daughter, who I have in this lifetime, she was my younger sister. My ex-partner in this lifetime was somebody who, shall we say, employed us. So in a sense, I was, a chimney sweep, a young boy. I was Papa Chimney, and he would take the money for that. So it was always about the money. And yes, anyway, and the only reason I explored that past life was literally because in this lifetime I have a severe chronic lung condition, and with this lung condition, both my lungs, half my lungs at the bottom are completely destroyed and scarred. And when they looked through my lifetime as Anne here now, all the scans showed that I had a chronic lung condition, and they said, well, then you must have been smoking cigarettes, thousands of cigarettes a day. Not right, that's impossible. And I haven't smoked. And they couldn't work it out. And we looked at all different possibilities, saw so many different experts. And I was like, what's happened? How comes this has happened in my life? Why do I have this lung condition? I have asthma on top of it, and it makes it difficult to breathe. And at one point, I spent 2 years with agoraphobia, couldn't leave the house, lung collapsed, and they were going to put me on oxygen at home. But it's only literally through doing some work on myself that I was like, no, I'm not going to allow this to affect me, and whatever. Anyway, so with your soul contracts, you look at what your soul contracts and the people that are in your life at any given time, the roles they play. So in this lifetime, I understand what's happened and why the individuals are in my life right now. And I understand that it's time for a certain soul contract to be completed and finished so that I can move on to the next part of my journey. So it might be partnerships, it might be family members, that it's time to sort of say, okay, what have they taught me? What it is that I have learned from that? Is it serving me any purpose right now to be in? Am I able to make any changes either in a relationship or family setting or whatever it is? Is it benefit me anymore? And I suppose that similar to my situation, it's like I know it has to come to an end so that I can move forward into doing what I need to do. And I can't see what it is exactly I'm moving into right now, but I know that soul contract has to come to an end. And I know for that individual, it's going to benefit them as well. But even though they don't know that right now, and they're in a crisis and they can't understand and all the rest of it, but it's like, that's what happens with soul contracts. Individuals come into your life at certain times in your life. Might be brothers, sisters, mother, fathers, relationships, friendships. They come into your life so that you can make some changes. So in this lifetime, it was about me feeling financially secure, because in that previous lifetime I wasn't financially secure, and I ran away in that lifetime as a young boy off to sea. And so to save myself, my brother, who was my son in this lifetime, in that lifetime, he was my older brother and helped to free me and to rescue me. Now I've had a couple of lifetimes, past lifetimes, with the same soul pod, and they've all played different roles. So when we have soul members in our families, they're playing different positions to help us to learn. So in this lifetime, it's learning for me to be financially secure, and so that I know that also that I'm brave enough and I feel empowered in this lifetime to take care of myself and not to run away. It's to not to fight a battle, but it's just literally to sort of say, right, this is how it needs to be done. So also I know by me doing that I also have a feeling that I'm going to meet the next person that's meant to come into my life, but I have to clear this one out of the way. And I had a client the other day who came to me, and she'd asked me how comes that after 2 years of being separate from her partner, that she hadn't had a new partner come into her life. And my guides said she hasn't divorced. And so I said to her, you haven't signed the papers, you haven't divorced. So by not divorcing, you haven't set the intention that you're going to separate right now. So energy-wise, you're still together. So she said, yeah, I haven't signed the divorce document. Does that make any difference? And I went, well, yeah. So until you do that, your soul contract is to stay together. So that's what happens. So you'll be with that individual for whatever reason. And there could be many roles in your family life, you know. It could be mother, father, brother, sister, whatever, cousin, whatever, or it could be a physical, sexual relationship. So it's you know, it depends on what it is that you need to learn. Does that answer your question?